Hello everyone and welcome to CryptoNight, the crypto investor channel. I'm Boris, so let's dive in. I'm with Colton today. Hello Colton.
Hey Boris, I hope you're doing well. Welcome back to the Kryptonite channel, everyone. Today we'll be talking about ICP. Let's jump right in. What is ICP, and can you give us a little synopsis on their tokenomics, Boris?
Sure, so it's a level one. They do slightly things differently than most of the other level ones. They're more oriented to kind of replacing the internet and putting it onto a blockchain. So it's less financial than some of the others, some of the other blockchains. It's more oriented towards dApps and like I said, putting the internet on the blockchain. Their token now, of course, it was at 700 all-time high in May 2021, and it has since then fallen about 99.5%. So some people would say, and some people said that it was a scam, but it turned out that it was mainly manipulation by FTX and mainly Sam Bankman-Fried that manipulated that token. So it was very surprising. I remember when it first came out, I was like, how in the hell is a brand new project jumping in the top 15, top 20 of all the coins? They came out of nowhere. So it just, what? So it was definitely manipulation. Now, I do feel sorry for those who bought, near the top, because that price, I am not sure that we will ever see it again, ever. Unfortunately, it might come back up, but there's a long way to go from $3.80, which is the current price, to $700. The all-time low was actually fairly recently at 287. So in September, about a little bit over a month ago, September 2023. It was September 22nd to be exact. And since then, it's gone up about $1. So it's not too bad. Current market cap is 1.4 billion. They have a circulating supply of 446 million, a total supply of 508 million, and no max supply. Now, the problem with some of the tokenomics of ICP is there were lots of VCs at the very beginning and they got rewarded with a lot of tokens. So the problem is some people have a lot of tokens. They could dump at any time, which is never great news. Also, there are quite a bit of, there's a lot of inflation because they're, releasing more tokens. So even though there are some burning mechanisms, tokenomics on ICP are not exactly the best. Now, the only somewhat good news is that they have been taking such a beating that they might have found their bottom, and they're currently ranked number 33. So they're in the top 50 coins, which is always good. Like I was saying on the ICP, basically they're trying to do onto the blockchain where you could store all your documents, you could store all your files, you could build smart contracts that interact with a lot of different things. You could do social networks, you could do media streaming, all of this, and plus being fully integrated with Web3 functionalities. So that's why, it's slightly different than some of the other L1s who are more oriented towards financial area. I think one good definition they have is that it's called the autonomous cloud from a public network. So you would have everything there, but it's public, and you can do a lot of things. It's an interesting concept. It's at least more original than some of the others that are in many cases forks of each other, or copies of each other. Here at least with ICP, there's something a little bit more on the energy consumption. They're one of the lowest with Solana. I mean, it's extremely low. The watt hour, per transaction is extremely low, and especially if you compare with some of the others that are much more, especially if you start looking at, let's say, Ethereum or Tezos or Cardano, who are literally hundreds of times more energy dependent and consume much more energy than ICP.
Thank you for all that information, Boris. What about the on-chain data, and how does ICP compare to Ethereum in about the last month or so?
So the thing is, we see that over the past month, their real volume is down, but so was Ethereum. Really, things started turning around like everything else around mid-October. But the only thing is the volume is down, but the market dominance is slightly up. They went up a little bit because I think that they might have hit their bottom. And with the bull run starting, which, by the way, at Kryptonite, we do believe that the bull run has started. Bear market is over. Because at this point, you could still say like, hey, Bitcoin is at 34 and a half, but we're still in bear market. Well, I don't know what dream world you live in, but bear market was when we were still in 15,000 range. Even, let's say 25, it was still debatable. There was a chance we could go back down. At this point here, the chances of us going down are slim to none because of the ETFs coming and because of the halving coming and so many other things. So ICP could have bottomed, but that doesn't mean it's necessarily the best investment. Any coins you look at, you always have to ask yourself, could I make more money putting the money somewhere else? I try to tend to readjust things all the time, which, by the way, I did get rid of a lot of coins that were not going anywhere or not going anywhere fast enough and shifted it to other two coins. So I pretty much a few months ago, I might have had 20 different coins. I'm now down to maybe 12, and hopefully pretty soon I'll be down to maybe 8 to 10. I mean, you do have to have a little bit of variety because, it's always hard to pick and choose which one are going to be the best. In many cases, the ones that are not good or they're not going anywhere, sometimes it's better to say, you know what, that's it. Let me put the money on a winner that's going to make me money. Because at the end of the bull run, most coins will make money. At least quite of them will make money. But do you want to have a 5x return, or do you want to have a 10, 15, 20x return? So it's better to put it on the one that are going to be successful. And the worst is like if you wait, through the bull market, and at the end you only made a 3x when you see most of the other coins that you had in your portfolio did 10, 15, 20x. You're like, why didn't I shift my money to a bigger winner? So ICP probably bottomed, and that's why the market cap dominance is coming back up. Sharp ratio is down 143%. When Ethereum is up 273%. The volatility is 2% for ICP, while it is 1% for Ethereum, so it's not super volatile. And if you look at the last 90 days, the thing is, pretty much ICP is back where it was, 90 days ago. That is not great, especially when you compare with, let's say, of course, Solana, which is killing it right now. But 90 days in Solana, you're talking about going from $22 to $39. So you have gone up in 90 days, 60% roughly, something like that. So what would you rather make? 1 or 2% or 60%? So that's why it's very important whenever you pick and choose your coins that you see the potential, and don't try to bet on everything. That's the other mistake. Too many coins in a portfolio, you can't follow them. It's too much work.
Thank you, Boris. What about the latest news and developments with ICP?
A new project that they're doing, it's the carbon credit, for waste management, which is basically they're planning to create a product on the ICP platform to buy, sell, and trade recycling credits. It's a decent idea, could have some merit. Problem is, last time they tried to do that in Europe, it was mainly for pollution. It turned into a disaster. The different European governments lost billions of euros through scammers. Basically, they were scamming the sales tax, the VAT, and they were not paying it back, so they fled away with billions and billions. Here it's different because they'll be on the blockchain. So it's an interesting project. Let's see what it does. But otherwise, they have lots of different things going on. Like I said, the whole project of ICP could be interesting because it is different than the other L1s that are just copying each other. But it's not without risks.
Thank you, Boris. What about staking ICP? Is it possible, and where should we be doing this to get the best APY?
Yeah, so the ICP, first of all, it currently roughly has an inflation rate of about 10%, and they're trying to bring it down to 5% within the next coming years, whatever that means, whether it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. But they're trying. It's not an easy thing to do, but they're trying to bring it down. So right now, you could get, let's say, about 9.5% if you stake your coins for 1 year. The minimum, I believe, is 6 months. And of course, the longer you lock, the higher your rate. So for instance, if you locked the rate of, let's say, 8 years, you would get 16.7% with a 10% inflation. So roughly, you would get 6.7%. But the big thing is, you really want to lock it for 8 years because you're probably going to miss several bull runs, doing that. And you're not going to be able to do a whole lot of stuff in the meantime. So not sure exactly, unless you are a real hardcore ICP believer, I don't think you should really lock more than 6 months, your coins. And those coins, once they're locked, they also give you governance, so you can vote on the governance proposals.
Thank you, Boris. What about the price prediction? Do you really see ICP hitting 19x in about 6 years or 7 years?
So with all the reserves that I put in this video, it's still possible because they do have a decent project. So possibly they could reach $8 by next year, which is really roughly a little bit more than double what it is today. About $16 by 2026, about $30 by 2028, and potentially, let's say, $60, $70 by 2030, which still would be 10 times less than what it was at its all-time high. This coin is probably most likely never going to see the $700 mark ever, because even in the best predictions, even maybe if we went to 2040, whatever, after that, it's already very hard to predict over a few years, but to predict over decades, it's just impossible. But there's, a good potential if you buy right now, not if you bought at 700. So that's it for today. We hope to see you again next time on the next Kryptonite video. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Colton. I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. If you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. And if you like the video at the end, click on the thumbs up.